So, let's dive into this epic tale. It all starts when a mage opens his eyes and waves his hands dramatically. Suddenly, a gust of wind sweeps across the land, calling forth clouds, and rain starts pouring down. This is a big deal because the dry fields are finally getting blessed, saving the townsfolk from a nasty drought. They sing and celebrate, grateful for the mage who brought them this miracle. They start calling him, fittingly, the mage. Now, shift to a peaceful village where we meet a boy named Serone. His dad, Vincent, lifts him up and spins him around, filling the air with laughter. As they stroll back home, Serone asks if his dad knows how to use magic. Vincent chuckles, saying he doesn't, but maybe chopping down a tree with one swing could count as magic. But not everyone is on board with Serone. Some nearby kids are gossiping, calling him awkward for being a bookworm. They tease him, saying he's nothing like his strong father. And there's a nasty rumor that Vincent found him abandoned in a basement. Ouch, that stings. Vincent's expression darkens at the gossip, but in his heart, he knows Serone is his son, no matter what anyone else says. Ignoring the mean kids, Serone keeps chatting about magic. Vincent, wanting to brighten his son's day, promises to take him to the city tomorrow to buy him whatever fruit he wants. Serone lights up at this, dreaming of all things magical. The next morning, they head to the grand city of Crayas, located in the kingdom of Tormia. Cyrone's eyes widen at the bustling streets and towering buildings. It's a whole new world for him. Vincent tells him to stay close to an old man he knows while he runs some errands, warning him to avoid alleys and nobles. Serone nods, filled with excitement and a bit of nervousness. As the day unfolds, Serone helps the old man with some tasks, and the old man praises his neat handwriting. When Serone asks about magic, there's a hilarious mix-up. The old man thinks he asked about chopsticks. After some clarification, the old man suggests a bookstore for Cyrone's magic quest. Eagerly, Serone dashes off to the bookstore, but things take a turn. The shopkeeper scolds him harshly for touching expensive books with his filthy hands. Hurt and embarrassed, Serone steps back, realizing the books are far too costly for him. He wonders where his dad gets the books at home. After a disappointing trip to the bookstore, he steps outside into the cool alley air. Looking at his hands, he mutters about how clean they are. He washed them that morning. As he walks further, he spots a man carrying a stack of books. Curious about where they're headed, Serone quietly follows him. But then, to his shock, the guy tosses those books into a trash pile. Serone rushes over, realizing these are still good books, just a little worn. Light bulb moment. This is where his dad gets his reading material. But then, he sees a group of nobles nearby, all giggly in their fancy dresses, flaunting brand new books worth more than his family could earn in months. Remembering his dad's warning to stay away from nobles, frustration wells up inside him. Why do they get everything while he can't even touch a single book? Fueled by that thought, he follows the nobles to a large iron gate guarded by soldiers. But just as he's about to step through, a guard grabs his shoulder, pulling him back. This is no place for commoners, the guard sneers. Cyrone's heart races as he stammers that his dad is nearby. The guards exchange looks, questioning if he's even supposed to be there. Feeling trapped, he twists free and bolts down the path, leaving his jacket behind. Hiding behind a bush, he takes a moment to catch his breath, brushing dirt off his clothes. He notices one of his shoes has come off during the chase. Just as he slips it back on, he overhears voices. Beyond the wall, a teacher talks about magic. Cyrone's eyes widen. This isn't just any place. It's a magic school. The teacher poses a question to the eager students. What's the most important thing required to learn magic? Answers fly around. Knowledge, ability, money. But the teacher says they're all wrong. Confused, Serone wonders what it could be. Maybe being born a noble? But then the teacher reveals the answer. Insight. The students look puzzled. One asks what that means. The teacher breaks it down with a simple question. Why is 1 + 1 2? And just like that, the students freeze, unsure of how to answer. Well, I can't blame them. The teacher explains that magic works similarly. It's not just about memorization, but understanding. Insight is what allows ideas to grow. Serone listens, heart racing with excitement. This is the spark of hope he's been searching for. Maybe he can become a mage after all. But then, the teacher calls out, the boy behind the wall, what do you think? Panic sets in. Serone, wonders if he should hide or climb up. He decides to take a leap of faith and scrambles over the wall, landing on the other side. He's met with curious stares, and one student exclaims that our boy is just a peasant. Serone's nerves kick in, but the headmaster eases the tension, inviting him to join the discussion. Serone, with determination, expresses his desire to learn magic. When asked if he's ever seen magic, Serone shakes his head, saying he's only read about it. The other students scoff, calling him a liar, that a peasant can't read. But undeterred, he bows deeply before the headmaster and pleads, "Please, show me magic just once." The headmaster agrees. He waves his hand, calling forth the wind, and suddenly, a powerful gust lifts the students off their feet. Serone's excitement turns to panic as he floats higher and higher. Just before hitting the ground, he stops mid-air, astonished. As he lands softly, he asks what magic really is. The headmaster attempts to explain, but Serone interrupts, asking for the truth. The students gasp, whispering about his boldness. For a moment, the headmaster's expression darkens, but then he sees the determination in Serone's eyes. He explains magic as breaking away from natural laws, a mental pursuit of truth. Serone's mind races. It reminds him of how artists create something from nothing. Curious, he asks how to actually learn magic. The headmaster, impressed by Serone's insights, feels a twinge of regret. He knows the academy's laws. Commoners can't study magic. But he decides to demonstrate further, calling on one of the students to enter the spirit zone. Her eyes glow as she confirms she's in the spirit zone, and the headmaster tests her abilities. He explains that entering this state sharpens one's senses. Serone listens intently, realizing that anyone can do this with practice. But first, they must find and then erase themselves. Serone ponders, if I can't find myself, how can I erase myself? The headmaster is taken aback, impressed by the boy's depth of thought. Give it a try, he encourages. Serone closes his eyes, focusing, attempting to enter the spirit zone. He hears everything around him, but the barrier remains. When he opens his eyes, he tells the headmaster he can hear every single sound. The headmaster pats his head, encouraging him to keep practicing. As the students head back to class, he quietly thinks how different things might be for Serone if he had been a noble, learning the same as them. But Serone's determination is unwavering. He jumps over the wall again, and suddenly, his eyes glow blue as he enters the spirit zone, experiencing everything as if he's split into 1,000 pieces around the world. It's a wild sensation, right? So, he dashes through the streets, shaken by an overwhelming sense of infinity. But in his rush, he bumps into someone. Turns out, he stumbled right into a gang. Not the best crowd to get tangled with. One guy grabs him by the collar, demanding to know if he's lost his mind. "You've got to pay for running into people like that," he says, acting all tough. Just when things look grim, a voice cuts through. It's Lady Amy, red hair, stepping in with a sharp tone. She's clearly not here for this nonsense. The guy holding serone turns around, and you can almost feel the tension in the air. "Oh, bored again, are we?" She sneers, while Serone's mind races, wondering if she can help him. But the guy that talks nonsense, claiming they're just teaching him a lesson, because apparently he tried to kill them. Serone tries to defend himself, saying it was an accident, but the gang isn't having it. They call him a liar and slam him down to the ground, spouting insults about his mother. Then, as the gang kicks him while he's down, red hair steps in again, voice sharp. "If you keep this up, you'll kill the boy." She snaps. Poor boy murmurs that he hasn't done anything, feeling pretty helpless, but Amy doesn't stop there. She smirks and toys with the idea of selling him off like a piece of merchandise, saying no one would miss a peasant. At the word peasant, Serone freezes, shock washing over his face. She suggests checking him out for injuries as slaves sold aren't supposed to have 1.1 of the gang members sneers, suggesting they check him out more closely, and the others get hyped up. They demand Serone strip off his clothes, giving him PTSD on his first day out. With his heart racing, he says nothing, hoping to ride this out. But this little menace thinks that she meant the face, not all of it, clearly not meaning it. The gang laughs, oblivious to the danger brewing. But just then, everything changes. He suddenly enters his spirit zone, memories flooding back, the headmaster's spell, the spell of the wind. It all comes rushing in, Before he knows it, one of the gang members yanks him by the collar, trying to pull him out of this trance. But it's too late. The boy stands firm, and wind erupts from him, pushing the thugs back and lifting them into the air. Gravity hits, and they crash to the ground, injured and confused. Red Hair then steps forward, asking who he is and where he learned magic, but before he can answer, some people come hearing the commotion. Red Hair then leaps onto a nearby building like a ninja, disappearing from sight. As he runs off, Ethan realizes something harsh. This world is unforgiving. Now, let's shift gears to a grand mansion of the first-class nobility, Lady Amy's home. She enters, still a bit miffed from earlier. Inside, her father is casually sipping tea and reading a magazine. "You're home early," he notes, clearly the master of the house. "Skipping class again?" She replies, her tone sharp that she learned everything she needed to know. That he sighs, a mix of concern and wisdom. Even geniuses can be held back. One day, you'll understand the value of discipline. But sensing something's off, he asks what's bothering her, breaking the silence. She urgently asks if he knows anyone in the magic school, thinking about our boy. She asks him to introduce them to her. And just like that, months fly by, and winter sets in. Vincent, Serone's dad, calls out for him. His wife calmly replies, "He went to cut wood." "It's still snowing," Vincent says, concern tightening his chest that he will go find him. Flashbacks hit him. The last time they were in the city, when serone almost got lost. Now he wonders what really happened. Finally, he spots serone, panting and exhausted, moving through the snow with determination. Memories of that day when serone used magic to defeat those souls flood back. But since then, he hasn't been able to wield it consciously. With no formal knowledge, serone tries to enter the spirit zone again, sensing everything around him. The textures, shapes, smells. He finds a weakness and with a single, precise strike, shatters a tree. The sound echoes through the silent winter forest. Vincent, hiding behind a tree, gasps. That strike was Thunderstrike. Tears prickle his eyes as he watches his son work hard, clutching the book he'd bought him. Realizing luck alone won't teach him anything, serone understands he needs knowledge to master his skills. And so, 3 years pass, cutting wood and living with his family. Serone grows stronger and wiser. By the time he turns 15, he's a different person. He swings the axe now with instinct, feeling the tree rather than seeing it. After cutting wood for hours, he notices the time. It's already been 5 hours. He's become so attuned to his surroundings. He finally knows what it means to enter the spirit zone and feel the world apart from it. Carrying wood on his back, he heads home. As he approaches his house, a fancy carriage catches his eye. Someone important must be here. Inside, he finds a man with his parents. His mother gestures for him to sit. This is the butler from House Urgent. His father introduces. The butler then tells serone that he came to see him. Serone's mind races. What could a noble house want with a simple servant like him? The butler's gaze sweeps over him, measuring him like an object. "I hear you can read," he states. He confirms that he has been reading since he was young. The butler inspects him closer. "You have a decent reputation as the son of a lumberjack. And you can read. Impressive." Then he leans in. "I'm offering you a position with House Ogent." Confusion flickers across Serone's face. The great Ogent library is being relocated. The butler continues, his tone dropping ominously. He then tells them that it contains nearly 10,000 books, many of which cannot be perceived by ordinary people. The process will take 2 years. Workers will handle the heavy lifting, but Serone's role will be sorting the books. Serone's eyes widen. This could be his chance for advanced knowledge, the path to becoming a mage. The butler's gaze turns serious. "You and your family are the only ones who know about this. If a single book goes missing, it will be your death and theirs. This job is life or death," he says grimly. "But the pay? Even a lifetime as a hunter wouldn't earn you this." The butler thought sarcastically drifted. "No wonder you are selling your son for this." Vincent springs up, anger flaring, saying that he didn't ask for his money. The butler replies with a light laugh. "Did you think he'd have a successful career otherwise? Then why beg to hire him if not for the money?" Vincent demands. Asks him if he didn't say that his son will be permitted to read once he goes there. The butler smiles, telling him that he didn't say he didn't read. It is just that he is not there to read, but to work. Vincent remembers as he watches, remembering Serone's first time at work, feeling a mix of pride and guilt. Did he turn his son into another lumberjack? Vincent recalls a memory of pleading the butler to let his son read books. That same desperation burns in his eyes now. "I don't care about your stupid money," he snaps. Regretting his decision, the butler smirks, thinking that they don't realize the opportunity. As he turns to leave, serone speaks up. "Wait." Both men stop. "I'll do it," he says firmly, making all of them shocked. The butler narrows his eyes. "Are you sure?" A single whisper of a missing book, and your life is over. "I understand," serone replies, his voice steady, and asks to do the job, telling the guy that he'll make sure nothing leaks. If something goes wrong, he'll take the blame. The butler studies him, then nods. "I'll return in a week. You can still change your mind until you set foot on the manor grounds. After that, there's no turning back." He tips his hat and leaves. Silence fills the house. Vincent turns to his son, trembling, asking why he agreed, knowing the risk. Serone steps forward and hugs him tightly. "Thank you for the greatest gift you've ever given me." Vincent grips his son's shoulders, telling him that he'll be here when he needs him, asking him to come back in one piece after 2 years. Serone nods, holding back tears. "I'll never let them lay a finger on you or mother." A week passes. The carriage arrives early. A servant handing Vincent a parchment tells him to sign. Vincent hesitates, then signs. The man snatches the paper and turns to serone. "Let's go. We've no time to waste." He shoves serone toward the carriage. Serone looks back one last time at his parents. As the carriage doors close, serone enters his spirit zone, senses expanding, feeling their sorrow. In his mind, he whispers he will be back, but deep down, he knows this path is a double-edged sword. It's a chance of a lifetime, but one surrounded by powerful people and deadly consequences. The journey is long, and the men riding with him speak little until one begins. The House Ogent's lineage is built on power. Every generation produces certified warriors. The founder was a level 3 general. The current master is a level 4 knight. He points out the window. In the distance, the grand estate appears. That's the great manor. As the carriage rolls through the gates, Serone's eyes widen. One of the guys tells Hai to watch your tongue, unless he wants to lose it. They arrive at a smaller building beside the main estate. "This is where you'll stay," the man says, explaining that this is the servant's manor. Serone follows quietly until they enter an office. The same butler from before is waiting inside. "You're here," the butler says, and wasting no time going over his duties, he leads serone through a long corridor. And the doors open to reveal the great library of House Ogent. The butler that tells him that his job is to classify and catalog every book. He tells him to organize weekly lists of those that must be transported. He'll work from 9 in the morning until 6 in the evening. Outside of that, he is free, but he may not leave the manor grounds or enter the main estate without permission. He fixes serone with a sharp gaze. "Any questions?" Serone asked his starting day. The butler tells him to start tomorrow, telling him to ask the other butlers for help for any problems. Like that, his first day ends quietly. When morning comes, serone begins his work. Hours pass as he carefully arranges and records each volume. Before long, he realizes why one person is needed for this job. Too many hands would only cause confusion. Through his labor, he uncovers something deeper. Every piece of knowledge, every art, every science is connected by one thread. History. History, he thinks, is the backbone of all knowledge. Among the 10,000 books, he counted 850 devoted solely to it. And so he decided he would read them all. 3 months had already passed since Soren started working in the library. Every day, sorting books became second nature to him. And along the way, he picked up a lot of random knowledge from the other servants. Thinking this, someone asks if today's books are sorted. He replies that is all done. Another worker approaches, holding a thick book. "Is this for Master Lai again? He still hasn't returned the last one he borrowed." The man sighs. He said he'd return it soon. But really, who cares if something goes missing? The masters don't. They're the ones who get blamed anyway. That hits serone hard. Nobles live in comfort because peasants like them carry the weight of their world. He remembers what the old man said. Peasants risk their lives for things nobles would forget by tomorrow. That's why they harden their hearts. One mistake can cost everything. All Serone wants is to stay quiet, unseen, and out of trouble. But peace doesn't last long as the library doors burst open. A boy runs in, pale and trembling like he's just escaped hell. Seeing his blue hair, Serone realizes that is the house agent's youngest son. Behind him, an angry voice roars, "You dare run from me?" That's 100 laps around the courtyard. The blue-haired boy dashes straight to Serone, asking to hide for a while. The instructor storms in, face red. "I know you are there. Have you seen that blue-haired brat?" Serone, confused, asks who he is. The man answered that he is the instructor of blue hair. Hearing this, without a second thought, Serone points under the table. The instructor then drags the kid out by his collar, and the boy glares at Serone, telling him to wait for what's to come. Serone sighs. What else was he supposed to do? Lying to a more powerful noble? That's a good way to die. Days later, rumors spread. The blue-haired boy's instructor dragged him into the mountains and didn't let him return for a month. Meanwhile, Serone keeps reading. 4 months in, he's already tackled over 800 history books. The first one took him nearly 20 days to finish, but now, each page flows like second nature. He flips through another book, just as he thought. No new information, but doubts begin to creep in. Is studying history really the right choice? The deeper he reads, the clearer it becomes. Scholars build theories, and mages turn those theories into reality. That's why people say a scholar and a mage are one and the same. The only difference is that a scholar can't enter the spirit zone. Without that, they can never become a mage. Still, Serone can't help but hope. One day, just one day, he'll become a mage too. But his thoughts are interrupted when the library door bursts open again. The blue-haired boy stumbles in, looking half dead, clothes torn and face covered in dirt. Looking like he crawled out of hell. "I've been waiting for this day," he says, voice trembling with rage. "Climbing trees, cliffs, training till I could barely move. Every day, thinking about my revenge." Serone watches silently. The boy is blinded by anger. He doesn't even know what he's doing. "Say something," the blue-haired boy shouts, thinking he is mocking him. He steps closer, trembling with fury. Serone sighs, tired of the outburst. "I only told the truth," he says quietly. This only fuels the guy's rage that he tells him that he could have just said he wouldn't help him. Not understanding that a peasant can't refuse a noble just like that, Serone meets his glare, calm as ever. "Then tell me what to do." The boy freezes for a moment, wondering why he is so calm. He then smirks, thinking aloud that even he doesn't take him seriously. He orders him to follow, leading him to the training grounds. Serone thinks maybe he just wants to hit him until he feels better. But he can't throw away the chance his parents gave him. The blue-haired noble tosses him a wooden sword, telling him to fight, calling him a coward for what he did. Serone's patience snaps. "I am not a coward," he shouts, telling the gut that he only did what he had to do. The blue-haired boy's expression darkens. He then accuses him of telling on him to avoid trouble and turn back on him. Serone grits his teeth, tightening his grip on the sword, thinking that blue hair looks like a completely different person when he's angry. With a cold glare, the blue-haired boy raises his sword. "No matter how much my family looks down on me, I won't take it from you." He grins and raises his sword, telling our boy that he will give him a head start. 3 swings. To be fair, our boy grips the wooden sword tightly. Hands trembling, Serone takes a deep breath, knowing he has to give it everything he's got. He swings, but the guy blocks it effortlessly. He falls back, throbbing in pain from the hit. The tension builds as Serone tries again, only to be met with another block. With only 1 swing left, Serone enters the spirit zone. With newfound clarity, he strikes with precision. The wooden swords clash, cracking the guy's sword a little. The guy, thinking that it's his turn, gets ready, but in a split second, blue hair's sword shatters, leaving him stunned and wiping the smirk of his face. The video ends here. If you want more videos like this, hit that like and subscribe button, and see you next time. Ciao.